Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is fairly pollen free today. Our pollen count has gone down from yesterday. Yesterday it was like 14,861, if I remember correctly. And today it's 11,159. So we're still 5 digits. You go outside, everything feels like pollen. It's horrible, but it's a little bit less. uh, Amy is here in the Metro Atlanta area as well. So I hope you are a little not affected by the pollen. So Amy, introduce yourself, please.
Yes, the pollen is a little on the insane side, and I live on the other side of Metro Atlanta and near Russ, and yeah, we frequent the same local quilt shops.
Awesome. And then I also have my bestie David, who hasn't been on the channel in a hot minute.
Nope.
But he has signed up or he purchased the Kona 2025 block of the month, but he purchased it as a kit. So he's working on a little bit of catch up. David, tell us just a little bit about you.
I'm David.
That's a very little bit.
No, Russ and I've known each other since what? Geez, 2005 now, 6. Yeah, and we've been nonstop quilting ever since.
So, David is the person who gets me in trouble when Candace isn't around.
I take no blame on that one.
And then we also have Julie, who you've seen around before. Julie, tell us a little quick bit.
Hi, I'm Julie. Most of you know me. I'm just Russ's great friend, and I do not enable him to buy anything, but I'm thankful he invited me to his channel.
So we are working on the March Kona 2025 block. It's got some blues and greens and teals in it, a whole bunch of half square triangles, which is always what we are doing. All of the blocks seem to have the same size half square triangles, which makes it a little bit easier. And, all of the stuff that we have left over from a previous block, we can use for the next block. So that makes it really nice. I've got a pile of fabrics that I am using. Amy, Julie, and David have from the same packet. So we got our packet. It's just got a whole bunch of colors in it. So I'm sure, ooh, that's dusty. That's almost like the pollen. So we all have similar colors, but we are all probably picking slightly different colors. We've all got different backgrounds. So in the end, all of our blocks are going to look different, which is awesome because they're the same but different. Let's see, who do we have in the chat so far? We have our friend Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Hi, Russ, just dropped in to watch for a bit as I work on my embroidery machine. What are you working on embroidery, Steven? Is it more bibs? Is it other excitement? Steven made his first bib yesterday during his sew day because he's got a new great niece. I think that's who it is. So there's that. And then we have Nina as well, who says the pollen count in Charlotte is the highest in April, May, and September. So yeah, I don't know what the pollen count is out there, but here it is beyond ridiculous. I'm not affected by the pollen, thank goodness. I have coworkers who are, and when I first started doing watching the pollen counts, I was joking around with them saying, we need the pollen counts to go higher, higher, higher. And the highest I had ever seen it was like 99.68 or something like that. And usually it would rain like as soon as we peaked like that. This is the first time that we have gotten into the 5 digits, and we have been in 5 digits for 2 days in a row. So people are a little close to dying.
It's pretty bad.
Kathy is in saying, have fun cleaning up after lunch and then back to the garden.
Fun.
That sounds pretty exciting. I don't know if anybody's trying to do any outside work here in Atlanta area. Just because, all the stabby to the eyes on the pollen.
Yeah.
It's too wet here in Arkansas to do any.
Well, we had a little bit of drizzle come through this morning. Not too much, which now means you see puddles of pollen.
Yes.
And that looks about as disgusting as just watching the pollen fly through the air.
Yeah.
And it's mostly pine, which is that fine, gritty, horrible stuff. I know there was one year I was up in like we had our own pollen season here in Georgia, and then I go up a couple months later to Massachusetts, and it's their pollen season. So I got a double whammy. And I was at the park playing Pokemon Go, and I ran into friends, and there was just this giant plume of pollen that you could see in the distance. And I'm like, dude, that's just wrong. It's probably nowhere near as bad as the dust storms that David has experienced when he was living in Phoenix, but Linda's Trendy Threads says, hello, working on my prairie flower quilt top while listening to us.
Great. Hi, Linda.
And Kathy said that she had a wheezy yesterday, but not today. Well, hopefully, like I said, pollen counts will be going down. I think most of the areas that have pollen should be getting a little bit of moisture today or tonight.
I am looking forward to that rain. Get a reprieve for a minute.
I think we might be getting a little bit of a thunder rumble too.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any severe weather in your forecast this week, towards the end of the week?
I haven't looked that far.
We have
potentially Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think. But I think it's going to be more north of here.
Our tornado risk is low, but our wind damage is really high, and to me, that can be just as devastating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because winds are like usually a solid push, and if you have the trees that just don't feel like staying there.
Yeah. I have a beautiful Bradford pear tree in my front yard.
A beautiful which pear tree?
Bradford pear?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and tell me. That was a mistake to plant it, wasn't it? Yeah. They have beautiful blooms. They stink like fish, and they are brittle.
Well, I'm glad you said that they stink like fish, because when David introduced me to the Bradford pear the first time, he used a different term, which I cannot repeat on YouTube.
Well, it works.
It is very true. We have a couple of them in my neighborhood. And when I take Riley on her walks, I'm like, oh, good golly, why did you plant one of those?
Yeah. They're beautiful when they bloom, but that's about it. So I figured this, during tornado season, spring storms, it will probably lose its limbs, and then I can cut it down. When it starts, when the wind tears a branch off and it starts looking ugly, then I feel like it's justified. I can cut it down.
I've seen posts on Facebook on how to trim your Bradford pear tree, and they're pointing at the trunk of it saying "cut here"
with a chainsaw in hand, right?
Yes. Like, seriously, nature, what made you think that that was the appropriate smell?
And they're very popular. Of course, out here they're really not, but like in the city and stuff, you see a lot of them. I guess because of the blooming, they're so pretty.
It's probably because they don't have fruit.
Yes.
Because part of what I was talking about yesterday, YouTube legend says that, when a city wants trees, they obviously don't want a fruiting tree because that's a lot of work to clean up.
And
And
flies and the gnats.
yeah, well, there's also the negative connotations that, homeless people might get free food from it. So, but that could also be very dangerous if they're trying to climb the trees for it. So I halfway understand. So cities had started to plant male trees because male trees don't produce fruit, and that was their attempt at helping prevent all of that stuff. Whereas if you planted only female trees throughout the city, you'd have the same result because, you wouldn't have all the pollen coming in, and you wouldn't have all the pollen coming in. But that's just YouTube legend. I don't know how much of it's true. But if you search on YouTube,
you're pretty well spot on.
The what?
You're pretty well spot on.
Yeah.
Well, if it's on the internet, it's true.
No,
I mean, there is that.
Yeah, now that we have AI invading our lives, you don't know what is true and what isn't anymore. I can't wait to see what colors y'all chose for this month.
Well, it'll be exciting as we can get close to revealing them.
Yes.
I'm trying to get my triangles trimmed.
Did I read I did want to ask you, Russ, on that moon forest, the new one that's pre-ordered for Food Love. Okay. Is the pattern gonna come with it? It sounds like it's a PDF that we download. Did I understand that right, or am I missing?
I didn't even read the details.
Okay. You just like the fabric, huh?
I mean, if we have to download the pattern separately, I'll download the pattern separately. If we have to do it, if it's included printed, it'll be included printed.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't care. I'm getting it.
Which one's this one? The butterfly thing?
No, the Moon Garden one I sent you probably to Thursday.
Now I have to look.
The one that I sent you also with the background backing that I picked.
Yes, okay, that one. Okay.
Which backing did you choose?
The purple.
I
sent you the link to the backing that I'm picking.
Well, I know I looked at it. I know I did.
It was like purple and teal, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, I will look again because I know I did, but I was just so excited because it was something maybe I could do. And
did the math yesterday, and I think they're around 15-inch blocks, so they're not bad.
No. And like you said, we can paper piece those flying geese.
Yep. And it's all stuff that we've all done.
Right. When you said that, when you were looking at it, that's what sold me. I said, oh, okay, I can do that. Paper piece.
Good morning, Jeannie.
Oh, hi, Jeannie.
And Jesse says, hi, Amy. Love your shirt.
Hi, that's my sister. She got me this shirt.
Oh,
I love this shirt too.
Yeah.
It's one of my faves.
I'm going to say the last name sounded a little familiar. My sister was excited yesterday because she practically killed herself all week in order to get a Saturday off during tax season.
Oh.
And my younger niece had a cheer competition yesterday, and they got in second.
Well, congratulations.
Cool.
And my sister, like, that's the first time that she's been able to see cheer in ages. And she was beyond ecstatic that she was able to have that much fun.
Oh. That's rare to get a day off during tax season. That's
Well, she had to do her required 60 hours in 5 days.
Oh.
Wow.
Which I think that's ridiculous to require your staff to work that many hours and you're not giving them overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. That is one job I admire that people want to do that, because it's all I can do, just gather up our stuff to take to them.
She loves it, so
that's good.
But I'm like, yeah, every time she complains, all I'm sitting in the back of my head is, you wanted this. I mean, I feel for you because I've had to do with crazy work hours every couple projects, but Dana says hi too. In Regina. That's how they pronounce it. Trying to remember how things are pronounced sometimes is difficult because I know Nina is pronounced Nina here, but a coworker of mine has her name spelled the same way and is pronounced Nina.
My aunt was a Nina.
And I know that some people get upset if you mispronounce their names, and no matter how many times you apologize. So Terry is here as well. She's waving in.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
My best friend's name is Shauna, but it's spelled Sienna.
That's got to be fun when they were growing up in substitute teacher world.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had a couple of people in our class that had, if you knew the name, you see exactly how it's pronounced that way, and it doesn't stutter off your tongue when you grow up with it.
Right.
But a substitute teacher, they'll hit the name and they'll be like, how do you pronounce that? And it's as soon as they hear how to pronounce it, they're like, okay, that makes sense. Because it's not like when you pronounce Worcester in Massachusetts, stuff like that, or Haverhill, which is not spelled anything like it or pronounced. But it is very much, all the letters are there in the right order and everything. And it's like, okay. Mary says, good afternoon, all from Minnesota.
I probably should have cut out the previous months too, Russ.
You're almost done with the block?
Yep.
Wow, David, you are fast.
Well, he had sewn all the triangles already and laid them out. So he's not Stephanie's fast, but he, as you know, when you get everything ready, it's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I, you know, like to do a little prep ahead of time of these. It just makes me feel relaxed where I can chit chat a little bit and sew without and actually get something done.
Well, see, if I get done with this one early, I'm going to go back to my other one, my tulip pink project. So,
oh,
yes.
Are you going to share that with us?
Yes.
Oh, good.
What did we call it? A disappearing hourglass?
It's a disappearing signature. No,
disappearing pinwheel.
Pinwheel.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, was this a kit or
did
you pick the fabric?
Oh, that's what you're doing with Untamed, isn't it?
What, this one?
The disappearing, yeah, that's the Untamed fabric, right?
That one, yeah.
Yeah, Untamed.
Yeah, so it's going to look like... So this is the block when it's done.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, look at the color.
Except for the blur, but...
Hold on, let me figure out how to turn that off. Background effects, none. There we go.
So you're a tulip pink
there
fan
we go.
too. Oh yeah. Wow.
Why does that do that? There we go.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
That's the block. But
he's not particularly a tulip pink fan.
No,
but
not by any means at all.
He's more of the traditional fabrics and Civil War prints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing this one because I have a friend that's very loud and obnoxious, and so the fabric fits her well.
Don't talk about Russ.
I
love you, Russ.
I object. I am not loud.
No.
Good morning, Jacqueline. And good morning, Faith, or afternoon. It is afternoon. And Faith is asking Julie, how is the calf that was born yesterday as you drove?
She is doing amazing. It was a little heifer calf, and she's just batting 100. So thank you so much for asking. And I still have not calmed down from that experience.
Do you want to tell the story?
I can. As most of you know, I live on a pretty good size ranch, and I had to haul a cow that was, she was pregnant, but we thought we had a little bit of time. I was taking her to a neighbor's house, had a flat tire on my trailer, so I stopped to get out and look at it. I got 7 other wheels, so I knew I could go on, but I wanted to check it. Looked in the back of the trailer to make sure the cow was doing fine, and she was laying down having a calf. I am be 59 this year, lived on a farm my entire life. I have never experienced anything like that. Y'all, my face was completely priceless. I wish somebody would have had my face on camera. I was like, oh my gosh, we have a baby.
So you've seen cows born, you just haven't seen them being born while driving.
Oh no, I've never had one deliver in a trailer.
Usually they don't like that. Usually they like the comfort.
So it was an exciting day, and thank you so much, Faith, for asking.
Yeah, when you were telling that story,
be named Faith because it's a miracle that she is doing so well.
When you were telling that story during the sow day yesterday, I was just like, "Oh, good golly, that poor cow." It's almost like when you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Stop there? She's having the calf and she's managing on her own. You got to leave her. But I just think about if, I had 2 boys in my younger years, I couldn't imagine delivering in the back of a car on the way to the hospital or something. Oh, my word.
No. One of my coworkers, when his wife was pregnant, I guess they had a doctor's appointment, and the doctor's like, "You've got at least a few more days." And I think it was the next day, she started going into labor, and they didn't have time to get into the vehicle to take her to the hospital. So they called, obviously, emergency services, and they got to their house just in time to catch the baby coming out.
Wow.
And it was kind of amusing in a ha-ha way, because they ended up taking her into the hospital and everything. And when he got the bill, they said that she spent a certain amount of time in the delivery room, and he goes, that's not possible. She delivered in the house. Like, you can't be charged, because they charge by the minute for the delivery room. And he's like, I'm not paying for these like 45 or 60 minutes in the delivery room when she wasn't even in there.
Yeah. My first foster dog that I ever had, she was supposed to be transported to a rescue up north. And on her transport day, we drove to meet them, to get her on the transport vehicle. And by the time we got there, she was laying in the back of my Jeep in labor. So
Oh, wow.
we brought her home, and she had a bunch of babies. And so that was an interesting experience for sure.
So Terry says that sure was a unique experience, Julie.
Yeah, I would say so. Need more water in my thing.
I'm now doing the hard part of laying the block out.
That's kind of where I'm at. Well, I'm sewing some of the triangles together.
Oh wait, you're supposed to prep for that?
David, you're way beyond us now.
I'm in pressing mode.
Oh, David, if you've been on some of the other lives, along with doing this each month in the solids, then I'm trying to copy it and doing it in batiks.
Oh, cool.
With a batik black background.
And that would be interesting.
Hey, it's coming out pretty neat. I like this. I get really motivated when I get to sew with friends. Yesterday, Russ, we had, with our sew day, everybody was chit chatting. I was going to ask you, on that one kit that you found, do you get notified or something of her kits coming out? Because I don't ever see anything like that unless you tell me.
I do not get notified.
Okay.
So what I do is, right when the fabric line is about to hit stores, I just Google for that fabric line kits.
Oh, okay.
And I usually find 4 or 5 different kits. Fat Quarter Shop usually does one of theirs using one of their pre-cuts, like the Jolly Bar or something.
Okay.
And then like a few other shops will have kits, and they'll have it like a lot of times a really intense kit. Very like paper piecing heavy, and then they'll have a lighter kit and a lot of times I end up getting the lighter kit because I really don't want to go through the effort of all that paper piecing.
Okay.
No offense, but
Right.
when it comes to be that much paper piecing, I just start to get the headaches.
Can be a little overwhelming. Well, I'm still kind of new at the perspective of this FPP stuff, so I'm still, all excited about it. The new has not wore off of me yet, but I'm sure it will.
Russ and I have a friend that has done many patterns, and his patterns are super easy to handle and do.
Mm-hmm.
I like FPP, but only like in small doses. Like
Yeah.
I think the outcome is really cool, especially when you have, like little tiny pieces in there and stuff like that, and it makes it really neat. But I do find that,
Right.
small doses only, and then I'm done for a little while.
Which is why I like the dragon fruit, because they're small doses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had told you before. I mean, I've liked tulip pink, but never just a big, huge fan until I started with that dragon fruit. And now I start looking at some of her other fabrics and really enjoying what I'm seeing. And now I can see kind of how, I guess you could say, how to use the fabrics.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so now I'm really excited about, all the different kits and things like that. So
I just rely on Russ for tulip pink. It's easier.
yeah.
Did I show you the FPP house last time? Did I find that, or
I don't recall.
let me grab it. I'm doing this with my scraps, but the pattern is My Kind of Town. It's this is the pattern.
Oh, how cute.
Oh.
Oh.
And then here this is the first house. The first house and tree. I haven't sewn the whole block together, but here's the house.
Oh,
that is awesome.
And then here's the little tree that goes next to it.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
that is adorable.
But I saw it at our local quilt shop, and I was like, you know what? That would be really cool with like your scraps and stuff. Because it's a bunch of little pieces, but I can only do it in very small doses.
And the owner of that shop just, loves houses.
Which one are we talking about?
Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
She does?
Oh, yeah, she does love the house. She loves them.
Yeah.
How have I never noticed that?
Because you've been out of Saturday Sampler for all these years.
Well, yeah, but
only
still,
show up like,
even when we go into the store, it's not like
once
it's
a quarter
there. But it is Mesa.
my design board isn't quite big enough.
I agree. My nice is not either.
It's
Mine
an
isn't
18-inch
either.
board for an 18.5-inch block with nothing.
When I moved my room around, I found a pack of 3 foam board behind my file cabinet that holds my 108s. And I was like, I can make a project board. So I put one together without cutting it, knowing that the block was huge. And it's still, I'm short like 3 inches on the sides to put it all on. But
So
I
Terry
stuck it on
says,
there.
so Terry says she's glad that she was able to deliver herself and didn't need help. That would have gone very differently if that was the case. M is here, says greetings, everyone.
Hello, Em.
I don't think that's the M we know. It's an
Oh,
MT.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, hello anyway.
So it looks like a new person, so welcome.
Yes.
So Terry says, very cute, Amy, for the house. And
Thank you.
Jesse says that it's Ivy, and Ivy loves the house and tree. So cool.
Hi, Ivy. I love your artwork. Ivy is my niece, my sister's daughter, and she is a very talented artist.
Oh, very cool.
Actually, that right there is hers.
Oh, very nice.
And pottery.
Okay, this is going to be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to target this? Because
oh yeah. Controlled chaos.
that's what this is. Well, I know that the pinwheel in the center has to go first.
Does it?
Well, in the instructions, it says it goes first.
I just started with the top left and put
That is another way to do it.
And then I'm sewing, each quadrant together, like that.
Uh-huh.
And then
My machine keeps unthreading. It's because I'm near the end of my spool.
I'm pressing all the seams open because there's so many half square triangles.
I do that a lot. I just like my box lay flatter.
Yeah, I do too. Plus,
Good
when you go to quilt it,
Carl, who says hi, Russ and friends.
I think Carl is getting ready. Are you not, Carl, getting ready to go to Stephanie's retreat? Isn't that
Yeah,
coming?
that is the end of the week.
Yeah.
Kind of jealous.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to be able to go. I will someday.
Well, I have, a trip in just over a month and change, so it's not like I can do 2 trips that short notice.
Right.
Between each other.
one day I will go to a quilt retreat.
Stephanie's Georgia retreat is, convenient, but I
Yeah.
also understand there's dollars involved that can make it a little bit complex for some folks.
Yeah. Because it's in Dahlonega. Is it in
Yep.
Dahlonega?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's about 90-minute or so drive from our area of town.
Yeah.
Russ, is yours the one that's at the end of the year as well? Or is that
Yes.
somebody else's?
Dahlonega is the one that's at the end of the year.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to do these sections.
Sunday I'll get to go to Stephanie's. Right now, with having to take care of a family member, I'm kind of strapped getting to go. But that's why I really enjoy and appreciate Stephen putting on those virtual retreats. Those are fun. And you get to sew in your pajamas.
Yeah. And he has one happening the end of April.
The 26th. And they
Charles says he got his solar flare kit and Tulip Pink mini iron.
Yay!
And he's going to be in the Kusa Lodge, which is the retreat center up in Dahlonega, in October and December.
With Stitch in Heaven. They do one up there, I believe, also.
I don't know who he does.
I don't know.
I know the one that was in December of this past year. I don't know who organized it, but it was the retreat right before Stephanie's retreat. So it was like their retreat, then Christmas happened, and then Stephanie's retreat happened. And he left cats all over the lodge.
He left what? What did he leave?
The what?
What did he leave on the lodge?
Little tiny cats.
Cats. Okay.
I have a couple of them sitting in my travel machine case because I found a couple. Steven found a lot of them. And then he got mad because his pile vanished. Somebody hid them on him. He accused me. It wasn't me.
You don't mess. Well, I better not say that. I didn't realize. I forgot we're not on our Wednesday.
Yeah,
so
we're being broadcast, so.
Yeah. Thank you for helping me stop.
He also had a block inadvertently stolen from him.
Mm-hmm.
It was inadvertent because it had just fallen.
He really thought he was losing his mind.
And well, it fell in somebody's sewing case, so it was harder to notice for him.
Right. Poor Stephen. I'll need to be a little.
It wasn't found until everybody started packing up on the last day.
Well, at least he found it.
Yeah.
Mystery solved.
Yes.
I mean, he had already used his practice block in the quilt so that he could get the quilt together. So. The handy thing about this pattern is as you get the blocks together or the units together, things don't look as daunting on the design board.
Right.
This is very eclectic.
This is where what?
Very eclectic. Let's put it that way.
Think I have to get out Jack.
Uh-oh. Team management has been a little bit of a challenge with these blocks.
What has?
Seam management.
Oh.
Making sure seams go and try to nest.
Yeah.
Because you know how OCD I am about my seams nesting.
Well, yeah, but that's just quilter porn.
That's just what?
Quilter porn.
Yeah.
But these are pretty easy to do, though.
Yeah, it works fine. It's just there's still that little bit of planning that has to happen to make sure things still go the way I want.
Yep. I think I'm good. Jack gets to stay in the drawer. Some things are wrong. Some things wrong.
So David and I were talking last night, and we're thinking that we're obviously going to keep the pattern cards because we have them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And potentially in a couple of years revisit the pattern in different fabrics. So
yes,
if you collect, I don't know, Tula Pink fabrics, get a charm pack every month or every year, that or every pattern or fabric line. It'll take a few years to collect enough if you're starting from scratch, but most people don't know what to do with charm packs. And I'm just thinking this would be an easy pattern. You just buy charm packs throughout a period of time. And then you've got a pattern that you can do your 12 favorite charm packs in.
I'm like David, I have a huge selection of Civil War prints. That would be really nice to do in that too.
Very much.
Mm-hmm. Or any, Tula, or just anything you like to collect.
Or even if you have, if you cut down your scraps to 5-inch squares.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, even just scraps.
The scraps.
But that would require you to keep your scraps. I don't. I throw them out.
Oh, my heart.
David, you don't need to be telling everybody that. They're now going to blacklist you on things.
The ladies at the quilt store in Houston love me because I would come in with bags and bags of what I called scraps. And they're like, this is yardage. And I'm like, I'm done with it.
That's what I've been working on the last several days, is just trying to get my scraps organized and my 1-inch squares cut and 5-inch, and get my big pieces sorted by color.
there's one of the workers at one of the local quilt shops. She told me that she wants all my scraps if I don't really do anything with them. I'm like, be careful what you ask for.
I'll take all your Tula scraps.
Oh, I'm not giving her Tula scraps, but I'm going to give her because I do the Fort Worth Fabric Studio sew-alongs.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit left over from those.
Mm.
So one day I'm gonna remember to bring her the pile of scraps, which is gonna have, Christmas in it and winter and Halloween and
She'll love it if she likes to do scrappy stuff.
yeah. She's just gonna be a little confused when she starts to get everything together. She's gonna be like, okay, I didn't quite expect this theme of scraps.
Which one's this one, Russ?
She only works on Sundays.
Oh, that's the day we usually go.
We usually go Saturdays.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. Oh, that's right, because usually I leave to go and drive back to New Orleans. Okay, yeah, this is very eclectic. Oh, wow. It works.
What, your blocks?
Yes. And these were the best things I ever made were these pressers.
That is going that way, so it's got to go this way. So it looks like Nightbot has just given up or something.
Oh.
Because he hasn't shown up in my live yesterday. He didn't show up in this live today.
He's on vacation.
He hadn't shown up in Sean's lives for a couple weeks. So I may have to do like Sean did and fire Nightbot.
What am I missing?
Depressed.
Well, if I don't pay attention to the direction of these half square triangles, boy, you could get screwed up in a hurry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it 2 or 3 times to make sure I have it just right.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's what happened to me, and I was like, it looked wrong, and then I looked at the card, and I had to like double and triple check because I still feel like it's wrong, but it's not.
Right. Well, it's kind of like I was putting up the bottom half together.
Are you talking about the corner units?
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a challenge.
But that's good. Keeps our minds going, I reckon.
Yep.
Well, it's always that much fun when you think that you're wrong, and then you're like, "Oh, wait, I really wasn't."
All right, feel smart.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
And I don't claim to be smart.
Well, I'm getting closer to having the units done.
I'm
Which
working
then
on
makes it a big giant 9-patch.
Yep.
so mine a little bit different, kind of like Amy was doing. And now I'm working on the center, the pinwheel.
Yeah, I just got the pinwheel pressed. There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
I
look at
love your
points
background.
there. Your points are beautiful.
Thank you.
What's the
Yeah.
What'd you use for
Her
background?
black with white polka dots.
Here.
Yeah. No, I mean, what name is that one?
It's Art Gallery Fabrics from the Periwinkle. It was a collection called Periwinkle. It's probably like 2 years old or so. I got the bolt in a clearance bin.
It's always fun to have a fabric as your background, and people are like, "Well, can I get some of that?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Actually,
Maybe
this didn't
not.
turn out too bad at all.
I like Art Gallery fabrics. They're soft. Very
Yes.
soft.
Yeah.
Russ can tell you I'm a moda snob, so.
Well, my points aren't quite as perfect, Amy, but looky here.
There you go.
Ooh.
And they're going the right way.
Yeah, hey.
That's the big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first time I finally got a pinwheel to nest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was an exciting day. And then learning how to spin your seams.
Uh-huh. I remember taking my beginner class and
Yeah.
Going through, and I accidentally spun my seam. And I
Yeah.
said, "Can you teach me how to actually do this all the time?" And the instructor said no. And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because that's part of the advanced class, not the beginner class." And I was like, "That's not fair."
They let me bypass the beginner class and take the advanced class.
See, I did not bypass the beginner class because I was like, I know that there's going to be stuff that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot more fun to take the beginner class because I did learn a lot of stuff in the beginner class.
Where did you end up taking your beginner class at? I forget, Russ.
They were both at Tiny.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because you were the one that introduced me to the store, even though I was the one that introduced you to sewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the one that introduced you to Tiny, where you were the one who was dragging me to fabric shops all over the place, and I was bored out of my mind years before then.
Yep. And now look at us.
I still need to finish that the quilt. I just have the blocks from that class done.
I was so proud to get those quilt tops done from the classes. Never got them quilted. Now the new classes that they are offering for them, they teach, like the last two classes they take for the beginner, they teach you how to do domestic machine quilting and binding, whereas you
Yeah.
you never got binding from the classes before, much
Yeah.
less quilting. So I'm kind of like, I really wish I would have been able to take that version of the class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Well, but back then, Russ, when machine quilting wasn't really a thing, everything was still tied.
No, back then it was not as long ago as you're imagining.
I was much younger back then, so I'm going to go with that.
I'm only talking like 12 years ago.
I know. I was much younger back then.
I think we were all much younger back then.
Yeah.
I did not have white hair back then.
I was not sewing back then.
But yeah, I learned quite a bit in my beginner class from there. And it was kind of funny because I brought in a show and tell, and as soon as I brought in that quilt, which was my Zelda quilt, everybody's like, "Why are you in this class?" I was like, "Because there's a lot of things that I've learned that I didn't know before then."
Yeah.
Well, it's true. And honestly, everybody could use a refresher anyways.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I took the machine binding class, the instructor said, "Why are you in this class?" And I was like, "Because you're going to teach me how to machine bind. I only know how to hand bind. And I need to, save a lot of time by machine binding."
I remember that day when you figured that one out. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to take the machine binding.
It was a lot of fun.
It's so worth
Yeah.
And yeah, it is totally worth it. You will learn techniques that you're going to be like, "I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this." But you're going to find a technique that you really like, and then you're going to be happy with machine binding.
Yeah. Because I mean, I machine bind my quilts and stuff, but it's like I feel like every time I go to do the machine binding, it's like something messes up or I don't do something, it's like there's little
Yeah. I mean, I still have
parts to it.
problems every now and then when I do my machine binding.
Oh,
But
every
I can
single
go
one of
back
them
and just
have
resew
those.
over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all fixable.
Okay. See, this looks a little bit more manageable now that it's in units.
Yeah.
And I have everything pointing to be properly nesting. I think. We will find out as I sew.
There's a couple that trip me up.
It's a good thing it's not a challenge then. A competition.
Yes, like those daggum jelly roll quilt braces. Crap.
And if it were a competition, I'd be breaking out my acorn stick.
Well, yeah, if it was a competition, we'd be doing a lot of things different.
I still remember that one. It was a sew sampler quilt, and it was nothing but half square triangles.
She liked those back in the day.
No. Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah. And they were, I think, 1.5-inch finished half square triangles.
Mm.
And I laid it out so that everything properly nested. And if you looked at the back of the quilt, it truly was quilter's porn, because every seam was twisted, everything, like there was no flips. Like it was an exciting backing for a quilter.
Yeah.
And then all of that gets covered the moment you quilt it.
Yep.
Mhm.
But you know
Yeah.
that it's perfect.
I have a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my units are together.
Ooh.
Yay.
Mine are almost together.
Now I have to put the rows together. I don't do well with nesting seams. I try and I don't know why I struggle, so I just press open. I do shorten my stitch length.
Pressing open is just as good.
Is it as long as you shorten the stitch length, correct?
Well, what
Oh.
I was told, and the way I figured, as long as you are not stitching in the ditch for your
Correct.
quilting,
Okay.
you're fine pressing open.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better because I really never knew, but I could not get things to line up and look pretty, so I just started open.
Because if you're using, I'm just going to say just a regular pantograph or a meander on your domestic machine,
Right.
that type of a stitch, it doesn't matter because you're getting over both sides of your pressing open.
Oh,
If you are if you're doing the quilting as stitch in the ditch, then pressing open is bad because you can pull your seam apart.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you're only catching either one side or just the threads of the seam when you do it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad somebody finally explained it to me. All I ever heard from the quilt police was that was a no.
Yeah.
Please.
Good afternoon, Charlotte, who says hello, y'all.
Hello, Charlotte.
I don't want to try to pronounce her last name because that's one of those that it could either be pronounced one way or another. Mm-hmm. And no matter which way I try to pronounce it, it's going to be wrong. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's never good from you.
Oh, I pressed one of my seams the wrong direction. But it's a good thing I can resolve it without having to, move anything. Because I was like, why is this not pressing the right or folding the right direction?
I love it when I check my units and they are the size they're supposed to be.
Oh, that's always an exciting feeling. At Saturday Sampler, during one of the programs, the owner's daughter basically said, how many of y'all measured your block when you were done? And nobody raised their hand.
I wasn't there.
Well, because I guess whatever program they were doing, they were having you do oversized blocks and then trim them down.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't read the instruction of trim them down so that you had wild sized blocks according to them. And so they're like, and then, not everybody's quarter of an inch is perfect. We understand that you're going to be slightly bigger or slightly smaller. So when I got home, I measured my block and I was like, oh, I'm spot on. Okay, I feel better. Because I've gotten to the point where I don't press my block or measure my blocks for the simple fact that I just stretch or ease in when I'm doing the finishing. Like when I'm doing the because I'm usually close enough.
Yeah.
Which close enough is not always great, but like with mine, I know my quarter of an inch is close enough.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times you, like you said, you can fudge it once you're putting the whole thing together.
Yeah, if you're not off by, I mean, definitely if you're off by half an inch, you got a problem. But sometimes even a quarter of an inch, you can fudge a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Just make sure you let your long armor know if you're fudging anything.
Yeah. That would be me.
So Charlotte says it is pronounced Vila. Almost like Bob Vila? Because it's spelled Villa. So, you know, we call it Villa Rosa, but Fort Worth Fabric Studio pronounced it Via Rosa. Because technically it is the Espanol spelling of it.
Right. Ah.
But I think Villa Rosa calls it Villa Rosa.
I have a lot of those patterns.
They are fun.
Yes, they are. They're a lot.
But I discovered, yes, it's pronounced like Bob Vila.
Oh, okay.
I discovered the other day that they have a really large pattern correction page.
Oh, yuck. I don't have time for that.
So
I can, check stuff. I'm not,
So I'm a little
hesitant,
concerned at this point with trying to do some of their stuff because I'm like, okay, if I take this pattern, then I now got to go compare it to the pattern correction page and see if there's, I mean, I get it. If you have 6 billion patterns, then the chances of you having mistakes are obviously higher.
Right.
Yeah.
But
when tells you there's no QA done.
Especially since what?
It tells you there's not a good QA done on them.
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned about working on more of them. Like
I've only done 3 or 4 and never checked, but they were good. And but it does make me kind of leery now because if you have, I guess you have to. It's our responsibility to check.
Yeah, I mean it is always our responsibility to look to see if there's any corrections, but it's also a pain in the neck if you end up being the first one who finds the pattern, the correction.
And
like Stephen apparently has found quite a few corrections.
Well, that goes to, it's fun to buy your patterns from well-known design. Most well-known designers check their patterns, don't they?
I mean, yeah.
I've done Stephen's patterns. I've done Stephanie's patterns because I know that they proof and never have had any problems.
Well, and I think when you've got someone who's manufacturing patterns like that, you're more likely to run across some errors and mistakes.
Yeah.
Because they're just creating the pattern and not testing it.
But we have listened to Stephen run across some, and what a pain. Woo!
I know, like the English paper piecing Alchemy Tula Pink, there's an error in that pattern.
Oh.
And I want maybe the butterfly has a correction, the butterfly pattern.
Uh-oh, we better look.
Well, I've got version 2 of the book, so hopefully it's been corrected in version 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, probably.
When, for instance, let's use the butterfly pattern. Where do you find those corrections?
On the designer's webpage.
Ah, okay. Did not know that, so I learned something today.
So yeah, usually like Lori Holt, she's got a lot of patterns out there. And if you go to Lori Holt's website, you will see a page for pattern corrections.
So it's really not uncommon, though.
It is not uncommon because mistakes happen.
Right.
And I'm guilty of it because, you know, if you're testing a pattern, you're supposed to do it exactly how the pattern is. You're supposed to read every line of the pattern, do it exactly like the pattern says. But, you know, I'm guilty of looking at something, making my mental assumptions, and then putting it together the way that I think is supposed to be the way to put it together.
Yeah.
So I'm not a good pattern tester.
No.
And like I won't go in there and I won't measure my block. So hopefully there's no big issues when it comes to cutting sizes, but I'm not going to be in there that says, okay, I created this unit. Did it come out to be the 6.5 inches that the instructions say? I don't do that.
And I don't have the confidence to do that.
And a lot of the corrections I have seen really say it's supposed to measure 6.5, not 6 or something like that. And a lot of people, as I said, they glaze over the number because they're accustomed to what the number should be.
Yeah.
So when you know you're putting together 2 3.5 inch squares, you know it's going to be 6.5 inch.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of times, especially if it's a pattern that's basic and simple, it's pretty, once you get used to sewing and quilting and stuff like that, you just kind of catch it, or you don't even see it. You just do your thing. And so the error may be there and you just never even noticed.
That's what I'm saying is if they're telling you to make sure something measured as a certain size, which I'm guilty of never doing that.
Yeah.
Now, if they tell you to trim something down to a certain size, then I think that's definitely a thing that needs to be captured in the QA.
Yeah.
My plans when Stephen has the spring retreat, I plan on doing his pattern when he releases it.
Oh yeah, he does have his pattern coming out.
Oh yeah, I have not forgot, Stephen.
He hasn't talked about that pattern in so long, I almost forgot.
Yeah, see, I have not though. Stephen, are you hearing me loud and clear?
Oh, it's the sailboats and stars quilt. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Good afternoon, Joy T, who says hi, Russ and crew.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. Every month I say, oh, this is my favorite one. Oh, this is my favorite one. Oh, y'all, I'm saying it again.
Well, wait till you see some of the months that are coming up. Oh, wait, you have
the colors, Russ. I can't wait till we get into the purples.
Yeah. I want to see the purple.
I'm all about these purples.
What month are the purples is what I need to figure out.
Well, let's look here. Oh, September.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Can I show September or should I leave it a surprise?
Leave it a surprise.
Okay, September and October are going to be to die for. Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
And you know, October is my birthday month, so it makes fitting.
We get to celebrate. Hopefully we'll be sewing on that day.
We are not going to be sewing on that day.
Okay. Thanks, Russ. That was a quick answer.
Well, because I know when my birthday is and I know when our sew day is, so.
Yeah.
And my birthday is on a weekday, so the chances of like some sort of a super event happening on my birthday are slim to none.
Slim to none. Oh. Well, we'll still celebrate. It doesn't have to be on the day.
I mean,
it's not even on a Wednesday sew day.
Well,
I'm good with celebrating a birth month.
I mean, I was gonna say I do kind of celebrate my birth month.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
And there is a interesting piece of trivia with my birthday.
Oh.
My birthday is a certain day, and the first guy that I dated, his birthday on his license is the day before mine. Same year, everything else. But I'm older than him, even though his birthday is the day before mine.
That's trippy. Oh, wow. That's trippy.
It's all because of time zones. So it's not like it's a super magical thing, but yeah, it's because he was born late in Minnesota time, and I was born early in Germany time.
Oh, wow.
So it just basically kind of evened out.
Right.
And I'm like, respect your elders. It's only about like 3 hours or something like that.
You have not mentioned your delivery gentleman. Is he
because
still?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, wonder if
I
he got a
think he
different.
caught wind. I think somebody ratted on me to FedEx.
Oh, that one.
Oh, hush, Russ. I don't think so. I think he's a big boy. I think he can handle his own affairs. I don't think he needs FedEx.
We've just noticed that, anytime that we get a cute delivery guy, they don't seem to last long. We had a really cute UPS guy back when David was living here, and he ended up vanishing after a couple months.
Oh. Well.
But David got to be pretty excited anytime he showed up.
Well, if you saw him, you would too. But that was the joy of working at home at the time.
That was the advantage of working from home.
You would just get a second hand, and then you'd have to go check the cameras.
Spend more money so you can see the delivery person.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
I even tried. I had sent Russ a gift and was trying to plan for it to get delivered so he could see his FedEx guy. It didn't work. It did not work, but I tried. I did.
I thought I got all the cat hair off of here.
More cat glitter still showing up?
Yes.
Oh, cat hair just floats around just like doggy hair. It's not going to hurt nothing.
Yes, and it's worse when you get the cat hair stuck in the back of your throat like that time I had a couple months ago.
Yeah, right before he goes live.
I try to I try to keep my cat's hair off of the stuff I'm sewing together because he's long haired and the hair can get caught, in the seam, and then, it's difficult to get the hair off.
I sympathize because I have long hair and I shed, and I have actually sewed some of my hair in the seams.
Yeah.
And then the recipient can take it and clone you.
There you go. I don't know. Does anybody want to clone this crazy? Nobody wants to be cloned to me. Life's too crazy for me. I see weird things happen.
Like cows being born in the back of your trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at the entire month set, April looks like it's going to be a little bit easier to manage. It's going to be fewer half square triangles for us to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be shaped. It's a set of triangles in the shape of a friendship star. So
yeah,
Okay.
I think
Is
we'll.
that the one with the half yard background?
The what?
Is that the half yard background month?
Yes.
Oh. Let's see. Interesting colors, isn't it?
I don't know what the colors are for April yet.
I'm looking at mine. Interesting.
I'm not going to look until I flip my calendar.
I'm so proud of y'all. I'm like a little kid. I can't wait.
So since you can't wait,
Yes.
you want to see my block?
Yes, and I want to show you mine. I just finished.
Oh,
yes.
awesome.
Oh, I love your colors. Oh, how come it's not on there again?
Okay, so there's this one.
There. Okay.
Oh, yay.
Yes. Okay, we ready for mine?
Yes. Ooh.
I like it.
There we go.
I like it.
I want to show you the back, Russ. See, I pressed all my. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, nice. All those open seams.
Yes. I love these colors. Can I see yours again, Russ? It was too fast. Oh, I love them. Yes.
Actually, let me put it on the design board so that you don't get the light bleed from the fan that everybody complains about.
Well, I think I have one of those in here too. Oh, that's gorgeous.
There we go.
Very nice. Very nice. David, can we see yours again, please?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That black is making those just pop.
Love
Yeah,
it. Really like the black.
That was a mistake order.
Yes.
Yeah, he normally does white backgrounds, and I don't know whether he mistakenly ordered black for the background or whether they mistakenly sent him black for the background.
Yeah, either way, it turned out good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Joydy just asked what everybody's working on. We are doing the Kona 2025 block of the month, and we just finished March. Amy is almost done, I think.
Yeah, I have one seam. No, I'm lying because I forgot to sew the bottom unit together, but I'll show you what I got because I know time's up.
Let's see.
And I'll just stick this top part on the board so you can see. I got almost finished though this time. There.
Oh yeah, that is so pretty.
Very pretty.
I really love the way that background causes everything to pop.
Yes. It's like a night sky.
Yeah.
I like it. Good job.
There we go.
So I think this is going to go well. Joydy says all very nice, but she does have a favorite. I mean, we still have a favorite child. I mean, we know it's a dog, but
Yes.
although my sister fully acknowledges that her favorite child is the dog.
Yes.
But I think we're going to wrap up now. Thank you, Amy, David, and Julie, for joining me this afternoon for sewing this. I look forward to seeing you next month, which will be the 27th of April.
Okay.
Rumor has it David's actually going to be here for that sew along.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to be, still in separate rooms working because there's no room in my sewing room for 2 people. It is a fairly small room, so without moving a whole bunch of stuff, I can't get him in here. So he's going to be in another room sewing, but we will be together in different rooms. I mean, we would back in the day, if we could, we'd just Zoom each other, or we've actually called each other and said, "Hey, can you do this?" Even though we're in the same house.
Yeah.
So, Cheryl just quickly asked, it's her first time watching this group. Where do we get the patterns for the block of the month? You're gonna have to do some Googling. I don't know if you can buy just the patterns, and I don't even know if you can buy the kits anymore.
Paducah still had some left.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hancock's at Paducah may
And then
still have it.
Fat Quarter shop has the fat quarters available still.
Also, the turn packs. Also, if you'll go to my favorite quilt shop, they still have the cards, and then you can purchase the individual turn packs from them also.
Yeah. So yeah, wherever you can find them is basically where you can get, because we are in March and they went very quickly from what we can tell. My local quilt shop, they were only able to get 175 and they were asking like, can we get more because we have more people who want to do it, and Kona was like, we don't have any more. So yeah, good luck getting them. We hope you can get them.
Yeah.
Because they're fun. And even if you're able to just get the patterns, you can use them with any charm packs if you have like a favorite designer and you've collected charms from them from the past. I think that would just be gorgeous as well. So we look forward to seeing everybody the last Sunday in April, and we will be working on April's block. And yeah, it's going to be great. See y'all.
See ya.